really are combining my two favorite things today, comics and rugby. I'm here for that. Yeah, lest we forget, there was a small matter of a Rugby World Cup happening, and it does kind of give us a path through history when we look back. And so we thought we'd do a little bit of a Throwback Thursday and get reminiscing about the good old days, days that you might not even have been born for. And of course, this is brought to you by the proud sponsors of the 2023 Rugby World Cup, TOTALENERGIES. And this morning, we're joined by our now good friend of the show, sports journalist, commentator, and former Varsity Cup star, Nathan Gogela, to take us back to a moment that he didn't even exist. No, he did. He was about 3 months old, you reckon?
3 months.
It's a crazy thing for me to see new generations being introduced to that moment, because it was for me probably the peak of my rugby career, playing first team. I was so in it. It was like that's when I was most emotionally connected to rugby, and this was playing on around us. Tata Madiba handing that Webb Ellis trophy to Francois Pienaar in that moment. I don't think anyone who wasn't alive then could understand how important. But when you go back and look at that, when you see a moment like that, how does that make you feel?
Graham, you're exposing my age here, but but it's iconic. Tata Madiba wearing the number 6 jersey, to the drop goal by Joel Stransky, to Francois Pienaar lifting that Webb Ellis trophy. 28 years later, Siya Kolisi wearing the number 6 jersey. So something iconic, just to be brief about it,
Yeah, no, for sure. And Siya taps into that energy. He gets it. For whether it's just an emotional understanding, an EQ thing, he just understands the power of what sport can do, not just for South Africa, but for all, I think, the whole world right now. I can still remember the adrenaline headache I got from just screaming non-stop for I don't know how long. And then that feeling of going outside after that moment and just seeing the whole country shut down. Everyone was on the streets just going mad. It was the most incredible thing. We've also seen moments in history that weren't the big guns, the big names. When you forget that, and maybe this Rugby World Cup will remind us, there are opportunities to stand out in time, to have your moment in history. Now, if we focus on Ayumu Goromaru, I don't think a huge amount of people will even know who that is. Played for Japan, a Japanese goal-kicking fullback, scored a try in a record 24-point contribution, finishing the tournament with 58 points from only 4 appearances. Just absolute talent. If it wasn't for that Rugby World Cup, we wouldn't have even known this guy existed, dude.
Of course. I think just the magnitude of the Rugby World Cup, it attracts so many people from the outside world, obviously drawing into the Rugby World Cup. Goromaru played for Japan, as you said. Before the World Cup, he wasn't even known, but obviously during the World Cup, obviously built up his name and repertoire as well. And obviously we saw what he did in the 4 games that he played for Japan.
Absolutely amazing. And I have a feeling Japan's story ain't told, man. If you want to know an emotionally invested nation when it comes to rugby, they've got it. They've got 100-year-old rugby players in Japan right now playing the game. That's how much they are invested and into it. I think we got to see a moment of history being made and really understand. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. Fiji and Wales. We saw some moments in that. Players falling down after that match from utter exhaustion. I think this Fiji side, there is something magical about the way they play the game, about the way they carry themselves, about the way they sing. There is something special about those sorts of moments. It doesn't have to be the top-tier teams in the world. It's the beautiful, our version of the beautiful game.
100%. Fiji, Wales had to carry more than 200, had to tackle more than 200 times that game. Just if you look at stats, most carries out of all the teams overall in the round 1. I think no team wants to dance against Fiji. Fiji was just too good on the day. Unfortunately, they lost it at the end. I think all the crowd, I think everyone says
I think half of the Welsh crowd wanted them to win by the end of that match.
100%. Fiji, everyone loves Fiji. Everyone's second favourite team. So it was good to see. Looking forward to round 2. I think they're playing against Australia this weekend. So it's going to be good to see.
It's going to be massive. It's a young Australian team as well, looking to prove themselves. It kind of feels like a new era, an opportunity for both of those teams. I think watching Prince William and how nervous and stressed out he was, obviously being the new Prince of Wales, what that meant to him, it just really did come to bear. But I think the underpinning here is that the World Cup gives these players an opportunity to shine on a completely different level. So thank you for being a part of that casting of the light. And we're going to be talking a lot of rugby tomorrow as we get ready for round 2 in a very busy weekend of fixtures. But for the game festivities, and there's going to be a lot, you need to have someone in your corner, and Total Energies have got you covered. So head over to your closest Total Energy service station, top up on fuel, your bright charcoal firelighters, snacks, drinks. Maybe you need a coffee if it's early in the day. Whatever you need ahead of the big game, you'll find it there. And in so doing, you earn club points that can be redeemed for cashback vouchers. Every little bit helps, in this case, a lot, helping you save on those future purchases.
Just like in rugby, it's uniting our energies that helps us move forward.